What's up, everybody? It's your friendly practitioner, Sanat Kumaras here. I have some pretty interesting story from working last night. So I was just, minding my own business, getting my work done, and making sure I'm, doing my job, not getting bitched at or anything like that. Not that I would get bitched at, because it's literally me and one other person for the next 12 hours who I'd happened to grow up with in high school, middle school, elementary school, the whole 9 yards. So the fact that we're working together, it's a small world. But that's not the story that I'm getting to. So I was doing my job, and in the middle of it, I caught something from the corner of my eye, standing just behind me from my work desk, or at least the table that I was working at that moment. I looked at, it was almost like they were standing behind me and to the right. And it was just out of the corner of my eye where I was moving one piece of material to the table from the furnace that I was working on. And I caught it, and I was like, I did a double take, and when I looked directly in the direction of where I thought it was, I couldn't see it. So I was like, okay, that's weird. So I, projected my energy outwards to see if I could detect any, spirits around me. Well, besides the energy that I was feeling from the machine I was working on, there was one spot in particular, the spot that I had originally felt or originally saw this shadow, where there was a lack of what felt to me like zero energy. So, and it was weird, because usually I could, even if there's no energy in that area, I can still feel my own energy in that specific spot. I felt nothing in that area, not even my own energy, which was weird. And I was like, okay. And so I was like, so I just wrote it off, didn't really think about it, and I continued my work. And every time I turned to do something, or I was reaching to grab something from another section, it was always in that same spot, and I realized, I was like, wait a minute, I can't sense it with my energy, but yet I still can see it. So my ultimate conclusion was, it wasn't an alien, but it was a shadow person. And because I couldn't see any specific details except for, just a shadow of a being, I couldn't see anything. It was just a shadow, just standing there behind me. And at first I was like, well, does it have malicious intent? So, I started, and because my partner is on the other side of this giant room, I didn't have any worries about, him overhearing me actually speak out loud and think that I'm going crazy. Even though I am crazy, but you know what they say. But anyway, so I spoke out loud. Not really trying to look directly at it, because if I looked directly at it, I wouldn't see it. So I was kind of just using my peripherals to be able to see it. And it literally looked like a shadow person. Like someone, from the in-between. And it was weird. So I was like, what are you doing here? No response. And I said, okay. Do you wish harm upon me? Is that why you're here? And out of my peripherals, I saw the head shake no. I said, are you here to help me? Again, the head shook no. Okay then. Alright. Can you tell me why you're here? Stalking me? Again, got no response. But instead of an actual verbal response, it pointed to what to the work desk that I was at. That's my work desk. And he just dropped his hand. I'm gonna say it's a he, or it might be a she, but it doesn't talk, so I don't know. I'm just gonna. I don't mean. If there are any snowflakes out there that watch my videos for some fucking reason and get offended by that, dear Lord, I don't give a shit. So I'm gonna say it's a he, just because I don't care. I'm not trying to offend. So you can get over yourself. Anyway. And so I was like, yeah, that's my work desk. And he just seemed content with the answer I had given him and continued to just stand there. And I was like, okay, this is kind of getting annoying because you're not really talking to me. You're not giving me any information about you. Like, you need to get the fuck out of here. And, so I kind of just... How do I describe it? I kind of tried to force him out of where I was working. And, use my energy just to kind of push him away from me. Like, get him the fuck away from me. Go bother somebody else. Well, at that point, when I did that, he kind of started doing this weird, teleporting, jumping shit, to, 3 or 4 different areas that were around my workstation. And so I was like, okay, obviously my attempts to get you to go the fuck away from me, it didn't work. You won't talk to me. You're not trying to hurt me. Fuck it. So I just let him be. He wasn't doing anything. He was just standing there watching me. And so I was basically talking to myself, but I was talking to him, and it was like a one-sided conversation. It was weird. Just bear with me. And then as I continued to work, he kept pointing to different things that I was doing. And I was like, well, if he's not here to hurt me and he's pointing to things that I'm doing, I'm guessing he's curious on why I'm doing these things. So as he was pointing to stuff, and mind you, his arms are extremely long. So even if I couldn't see his full body in my peripherals, I would see his arm just raise up and him pointing a finger. And I would kind of notice what general direction he was pointing at. So I would kind of, each time he did this, I would explain to him you know, what it was, what it did, you know, what my job for that thing was. And, you know, and eventually I kind of, I kind of, not necessarily looked at him, but I kind of, you know, leaned my head towards him to where I could still see him and he wouldn't disappear. And I was like, you don't mind if I give you a nickname, do you? And he shook his head, no, he doesn't mind. I said, okay, I'm gonna call you Steve. And it was weird because he did that weird jumpy thing again where he teleports to different, like 3 or 4 different areas around me. I don't know if that's a good thing or if a negative thing, but I guess I just guessed it was a negative thing, that it was something that he didn't want. So I was like, okay, well, how about I came up with like 2 or 3 different names, and he never really decided on one, so I just never gave him one. I gave up after about 2 or 3 names, tried to name him, and I was like, you know, and he like I said, he wasn't mean, or he wasn't threatening me. Didn't seem like he wanted to hurt me. I guess he was just curious about me. He just hanging around, following me around. But it was weird because he was like almost stuck in that one area of that building. Like, as I was leaving work, you know, I saw him as I was passing by, and I said, hey, come on. Because I was actually getting used to him hanging around. I was like, oh my gosh, like, I have a friend now. I have a shadow person friend. Oh my god. And he just shook his head no. And I was, okay, whatever you want, man, I'll see you tomorrow. So I left. But yeah, I made a friend today. And you know, I wonder if he's gonna be there when I get back to work tomorrow. I hope he is. I actually kind of started enjoying his company because he was so curious about my job that I just started talking about my job to him constantly. Because all he would do is point, and you know, eventually just stop pointing, and I just talked to him. But that's my interesting story for the day. I hope y'all have a good one, and as VK likes to say, enjoy your immortality. But, you know, I'm not VK. So, y'all keep up the good vibes, and, you know, hit that like button a couple times on every one of my videos. Hell, like it to death. Yeah, I know, standard YouTube, subscribe to me, like my videos, and click that notification bell. Oh my gosh. Gotta hit the notification bell to know when I'm fucking posting. But y'all have a good day. I'm going to bed. I'll see y'all later.